What I see you doing right now is this club's getting here, and then it's coming over that way. What we need that club to do is when it gets here, you need to feel it reroute in there so it can come through that way a little bit. And that's going to help you get a lot more power and a lot more consistency through the shot. Now what we're doing right now is we're overcompensating a little bit by trying to make you really push it that way so that we can eventually have it coming straight through that way. Now you don't have to be more balanced. So it should be right over the middle. Yeah. So one thing you can do to make sure you're doing that is you should feel like it's in the middle here and it's in the middle here. You don't want to feel like it's in the middle here, then it's up here, right here. You don't want to feel like it's in the middle here and it's back here, right there. So you can do a little check for yourself when you get to the top. Is my weight still, especially with the irons, is my weight still in that general centered position? One thing I mentioned over there in passing was that the lower you get that handle, the more it's going to be a shot that pops it up in the air. Because you're taking that plane from one that's dropping right on top of the ball to one that's coming around it. So we'll stand a little bit, so this was our chipping stance. We're gonna stand a little bit farther away, a little bit wider feet. And that gives us some room to drop that handle down into that area. And then, one thing you wanna do when you are hitting a pitch shot is making sure that that face of the club, unlike a full swing, is not closing down. Because again, that horse bouncing proper, and the way I think of it is standing like a bear. If you were a bear, standing like this. What that does is it gets your hips back and it lets you swing around it like this. And the other thing is, we don't ever, under any circumstances, want this face to close in any way. So we want, when we finish, we want it over there. Okay? So you want to think, just think you're balancing a glass of water on this thing. You don't want to throw it over the side. So what we do there is you stand back here like this, and you definitely want to let those arms pass around to your left like that. So a lot of people will try to get up into it like that. You need to expose the bounce, especially in the bunker. That's the whole reason to bounce. So I know, Andy, you had mentioned earlier that you thought you could get an 8-iron there, but maybe just barely. So if we look at this, we see there's a lot of trouble in front, but no trouble deep, right? So what do you think that might make you want to do?
Club up.
Yeah, so exactly. So in the scenarios where you're able to club up, so in the scenarios where you take a look and there's major trouble short, you want to miss long. When you look and there's major trouble long, or there's a deeply sloping green like we mentioned earlier, you want to miss short. So these are some of the kind of things that, frankly, are very obvious to people once you just put them into words. But they're the kind of thing when you're going through your round thinking about it is a little bit tougher to keep thinking about and keep focused on. So it's just another example of how good course management is going to put us in a better chance to win without even having to put any better swing on the ball.